Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk on a Second Chance. My name is Philip Jones.
And my name is Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coaches, where we coach people with stage 3 to stage 5 kidney disease. If you or you know someone who has kidney disease and need coaching on their challenges, hit us up at kidneycarecoaches.com.
So today we got a very informative and interesting show for you. We want to talk about the 5 low hemoglobin symptoms you need to know. So I'm gonna jump right into this. I'm gonna read a couple sentences of this first part of the article, and then we'll jump into these symptoms. But it says hemoglobin is an iron-rich protein which functions as a carrier of oxygen throughout the human body. Hemoglobin can be found in the red blood cells. There are billions of cells in the human body, and each cell requires oxygen to function properly. Insufficiency of hemoglobin in the body affects the function of the muscles and tissues. This is because of insufficiency of hemoglobin means that the muscles and tissues won't get adequate oxygen to function effectively. This leads to a condition known as anemia. So, Ms. Could you want me to read this through this next real quick paragraph, or you want to do it?
I'll read it. A blood test is used to measure hemoglobin levels. Low hemoglobin symptoms can affect the quality of life, a person's life, although symptoms may vary depending on the individual's age, the state of one's health, and how fast it develops. However, some people may experience no symptoms whatsoever. Low hemoglobin symptoms include tiredness. Phil, you could talk about this. Go ahead. We could talk about
So yeah,
tiredness. We
the,
know.
the tiredness is important. It's important to pay attention to that, especially when you're a high energy person. You're somebody that's usually on the move. You can hurry up, get up. It's 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. You can hurry up, jump up. Get yourself together for work. Go get make you a cup of coffee and get that going, and,
Hmm.
and get out the house and get your day going. I know that's something my uncle would really hurry up and be able to identify with because he's that type of person. He used to be a professional bodybuilder and everything, but he sticks to that schedule even to this day. Gets up early in the morning, first thing in the morning, gets up, goes to the gym in the morning for about an hour or two, leaves there, come home, does his daily activity stuff, whether he got some running around or house stuff to do. So pay attention to that if you're doing a lot of movement, early in the morning things, and then all of a sudden it's like, why am I just all of a sudden just drained? You don't have that normal energy. Definitely go get that check, and see if there's anything going on. So, but go ahead, Mr. Cook, you go ahead and chime in on that.
I just want to chime in real quick. I agree with you on that, man, because I remember when my hemoglobin was low and trying to exercise, and usually when it's up, you could just do another set, but you're retired as heck right between it. You'd be like, man, I just feel like, and everyday normal things, just getting up, going to the bathroom, and okay, I go to the store. You'd just be wiped out because that hemoglobin is so important, and you'll be so tired, man. You'd be just tired as heck. The second one I want to talk about is paleness. Now, when you go see people in dialysis and stuff like that, uh, you might not see dark skinned people or people of color, but white people you may see they be real pale. And why the paleness is because again they don't have that much blood going on, almost like a vampire situation. And that's what happens when your hemoglobin is real low. You can have a pale skin because of the skin not you just not having enough, your body temperature and stuff like that is just not up to standards. Why? Because you don't have enough blood going on through the body. Go ahead, Phil.
You know what? That is true, but it actually paleness is actually seen in people of color. It's not often, like you said, it's not
Okay.
something that's uh very, very easy to notice. But I've had people come to me, when I was dealing with low hemoglobin levels and stuff like that, I might be admitted in the hospital or something like that. And I've had people come to me like, you don't look your normal color, like you look, lighter. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that for us, that's where you kind of see it is, especially if you're a darker person, and that then you get all of a sudden kind of that lighter darkness with the mix of what this
Mhm.
lady on our picture looks like,
You kind of look
then it's
fleshy. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
almost like a fleshy where you just like you don't look like yourself. You look kind of sickish. But I
Like
do
out like
remember,
dead. You look kind of dead a little bit.
right, dead,
Like you out
dead.
of it. It look like they did your
Hmm.
makeup in a casket or something.
Right. Especially in your face and your gums through there, even in your eyelids and stuff like that. Your face looks flush, like you said. They did your makeup in a coffin. That's a
Right.
good one. That's a good one, man. Go ahead, Phil.
The next one is heart palpitations. I've
Mm-hmm.
dealt with
Yeah.
this as well. If
Yeah,
you
I did too.
but what I will add is right, because so with the heart palpitations, that can be a number of things. This is just another symptom that's connected to low hemoglobin
Right.
issues. Um, and I mean, you can get heart palpitations from just working out,
Yep.
running, doing, any of those types of things, high activity levels and stuff like that can cause that. But it's also that's the reason why it's good to know these other surrounding signs. Because if you have that plus some, maybe one or two other signs connected to low hemoglobin, then you kind of, it's a little easier to say, all right, that's what the issue is. I mean, I've had that issue before, and my
Uh,
hemoglobin was perfect. I where it was, bad. It was, up there. So post, heart rate and everything was up there. So just kind of pay attention to your surrounding signs as well when that happens. So that way you can try to, especially because you have to try to explain these things if for, God forbid, any reason you have to call 911. It's just one of those bad situations where you need a paramedic or something. You need to be able to explain to them, so when they get there, and so they know how to proceed with you from there, because you don't want to tell them, I'm having chest issues, but all I did was work out. When they ask you what you've been doing today, you go, I'll just work out, and they decide, okay, well, let's give them this, you know, uh, and get, and it's the wrong medicine that they shouldn't have gave it to you. So make sure you know those surrounding signs and pay attention to it as well.
the biggest one is, when you're having these palpitations, the problem is your body doesn't have enough oxygen, and it makes the heart work harder because it's low on oxygen, and that's the problem. And over time, this can create a deficiency, and this can create you having heart problems, heart disease, things like that. Why? Because the hemoglobin is low, and the heart has to work a little harder. I remember when my hemoglobin was low, and I would feel my heart flutter, like, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you ever had that
Hmm.
when I was on dialysis. You'd be like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Then I
Right.
go get checked, and my hemoglobin was 5, 6. And they were like, "Oh, we gotta give you EPO or blood or something like that because you know, um, because of the situation and everything." And let me tell you, other people. Let me tell you, people, the reason why a lot of times when you're on dialysis, your hemoglobin is low is because the kidneys help make red blood cells and they keep the hemoglobin up. So kidneys just don't filter blood. They do a lot of other things also. So I just wanted to put that in. The second one, the other one we were talking about right now is shortness of breath.
Right.
Especially if you're just taking a flight of stairs, and it could be just 5 stairs. If your hemoglobin is low, it will be challenging. You'll get up there to that last step, or you'll be in that middle of that third or fourth step. You'll be like, man, I'm short of breath like a mud. Again, the reason why you're short of breath is because the hemoglobin is low and your body is not getting enough oxygen. Oxygen is what is the most important thing. And when your body is low on oxygen, even your brain doesn't even work properly. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, it's that again. At the end of the day, especially when it comes to that, is paying attention to these signs. But like that stated before, it's a lack of oxygen. Oxygen is breathing.
Mm,
So, definitely
yeah.
pay attention to that. This next one is soreness and swelling in the tongue or mouth. This is a big step because this just kind of
Mm-hmm.
tells you not even just it's one of those other situations where it could be a number of other things, right? Um,
Right.
Swelling is one of the biggest things that you deal with when you deal with kidney issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you start dealing with kidney failure and things like that are going wrong, that's one of the first signs that you start dealing with is the swelling. Now granted, it's not you know just the mouth or or anything or the face or anything like that, but it's a number of other places. So again, it's one of those other ones where you pay attention to your surrounding signs, or just pay even if it's just that sign, and you've never dealt with it before. Just we talk about this a lot. Go to the doctor. It ain't nothing wrong with going to the doctor, people. Especially when you're trying to make sure that you're in a good position health wise. You definitely, if you live on your own, and I'm still, even if your own, the only person that's in your life, you still go to the doctor, take care of yourself. But especially if you got a wife, kids, you got nieces and nephews, things like that. Uh, get yourself checked out. It's important. So, um, what was it right? It says
Yeah, I just want to
another
chime in on these. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry. I
real
was just
quick. I
going
was
to.
gonna say real quick. It says low hemoglobin may also cause the following symptoms around the mouth. These include mouth ulcers, dry mouth, burning feeling in the mouth, red sores on a quarter in your mouth, which is also connected to a number of other things as well. But you know, again, just go make sure. So, but go ahead, Miss Cook.
I was gonna say another one people forget about is bruising real or easy. Now, when you get low
Mm,
hemoglobin, you can bruise. You can hit a corner of a wall or something. You'd be like, "Dang!" And then you'll see a crazy bruise on you, and
mm-hmm.
you'll
Red
wonder
blood cell.
why. And right, because of low red blood cells. And also, another challenge with this is healing. If you get cut, you won't heal properly. Sometimes it'll take a long time for you to heal properly. And so those are two things you want to watch out. If you these things may, if you get a bruise and you bruise real easy, or if you get a cut and you don't start seeing it heal up in a week or two. Like I burned myself. I was working on my engine and I burned myself, and I see my stuff start healing up. It's healed up now, but if I didn't see that heal, I would be like, man, there's something's going on. I might have low hemoglobin because I'm not healing properly. So those are two other things that you want to watch out for on this. Okay, all right, go ahead, Phil. In conclusion, go ahead.
Yeah, inclusion says here a person experiencing signs should visit a doctor. Touched on that. However,
Yep.
intake of iron-rich foods will do a lot of good and may help ease symptoms. So
Right.
that goes back to what we kind of touched on a lot is your nutrition. How you
Hmm.
eat, your diet. Things of that nature. So um, try if you can go to your dietitian. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the good foods you can eat is collard greens. They're high in iron, and they would definitely help you with Um, I think they're one of the best foods for fiber. They keep you regular, and they boost your iron and your hemoglobin. So that's definitely one of the things I was just gonna throw out there before we just wanted to say that. Go ahead, Phil.
A lot of, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of dark green vegetables like that are higher iron.
Hmm.
That so that's why you're starting to see a lot more people eating kale. Didn't nobody know what kale was till like
Yes.
7 years ago, and all of a sudden
Yep.
I'm on this kale diet. Like, what the hell is kale? What are you talking about? Yeah, it looked like a regular old plant that you just grew in the garden, and that um, so things like that. Spinach, whether it's raw or sauteed or anything like that. You may want to put it, another way. If you don't like the necessary That's the taste that comes from these certain dark green vegetables. The way that you can consume these in a way that you'll be okay with the taste is a smoothie.
Yep.
People think, oh, I just take, orange, I just take pineapple. That means absolutely nothing. That's just the taste. That's just because these things are the key component with of the taste. You know, connections between the number of vegetables and fruits and stuff that you use. But you still get that. You still get all that all these other vegetables and fruits that you have put in it, that you can take from those fruits and stuff. So, use do smoothies or whatever. You got to put a handful of kale in there or a handful of spinach or, I don't know about the. Don't take my word about the greens part. I ain't never heard nobody say I'm gonna have me a smoothie with some greens in it. But if if you want to try it and you like it, it's your business. But
I
uh,
have. I mean, I've had not that type of greens, but I call it like greens. I call it like I say my greens. And I'm talking about like kale, spinach,
right,
raw
right,
kale,
right. Well,
raw
no, I was talking
spinach,
about I was talking about collard
collard
greens. Like
greens.
you were talking, yeah.
Nah, I ain't
I don't
messing
know.
with
I
collard.
don't think that's gonna work in a smoothie. But if you
Uh,
want to try it, handle your business. But just like Miss Cook just said, your greens, your kales and spinach and stuff like that, that can go into these other, these groups of other fruits and vegetables to make smoothies. If you're not a and per se, like for me, I mean, I can't do neither one, but I hate tomatoes.
me
Tomatoes make
too.
me sick. They make me
I
sick.
eat them. I eat them in something else, but I can't just eat them raw.
I can't eat them at all. Well, I mean, the only thing I can get as close to as anything as a tomato is ketchup. But I can't eat an actual like tomato, whether it's cut whole, cutting like little pieces. Just hey, here's a tomato, or salt. Uh, in something. Not I can't do whole tomatoes at all. Period. Like now I don't know what it is, but because I do remember at one point when I was younger, I used to eat tomatoes, and then one day out of nowhere, I remember eating one, and it just started making me gag. Like it was automatically coming up. It was like something was wrong with it, and I tried it even a couple times after that, and it was still like, uh, like it was. So it's been like that ever since. But um, damn good show. Very informative. Um, but next week we'll probably touch on this something else with hemoglobin as well, just to keep it informative for the week. So um, definitely come back through tomorrow morning and check us out. Let's Cook, you got any last words? Cool,
Nope,
cool.
that's it.
Well, appreciate you all watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning.